Broadcasting from Cincinnati, you're listening to the Ringside Reporter podcast. All the news from the world of boxing right here.
Well, I'm talking to you the way I want to talk to you.
Now, here's your host, Eric Lorda.
All right, guys, we are live. Welcome to the Ringside Reporter Show, where we talk about the latest boxing news. If it's related to boxing, we'll talk about it right here. My name is Eric Lorta, and my co-host here, Joe Habib. We got a great show for you today, and if you want to call and ask questions, you can call in right now, 323-870-3857. And tonight, we're talking about one of the biggest weekends of the year in boxing. Let's get to it. First of all, Beeb, before we go any further, did I mention that FCC is now in the second round of the playoffs, Daddy?
Who are they?
FCC, baby. FC Cincinnati. I forgot, does Boston even have a team? Do they even have a team out there?
Yeah, we have the Boston Revolution.
Do they? They still play?
Yeah.
Wow.
They're not good.
Yeah, you can say that again. Let me tell you who is good. We are, son. All right.
Hey,
did I the Bengals won today?
That's a good one.
Cleveland won last night. Ho!
Can I say something before we get started?
Sure.
Full disclosure, that is not my title of the show. That's Eric's. Okay,
really?
He's the producer.
He's
the producer. Huh. He is the producer of the show. That is not my title.
What does that say on the screen? It says this is B, and this is my title.
That's you slandering me right now.
That's me slandering you.
We both have access. We both have access to this.
You want to talk about slandering somebody, sir? Let me tell you what. Somebody did a little slandering earlier, Beeb. I'll tell you it was you. What was that title you came up with? The fight was fixed between Wilder and Helenius.
Listen, we'll go into it. We'll get into it later.
We're gonna get to it right now here. Deontay Wilder for PBC pay-per-view. The big one yesterday, Deontay Wilder versus Robert Helenius. Deontay Wilder put Robert Helenius to sleep in the very first round, man. It was a quick right hand that Helenius did not see coming, and he was out before he hit the deck. I had to go back. This is one of those things, man, where I watched it a couple times in real time, and I saw it, but it didn't look, I'm looking at it, I'm like, wow, that's weird.
Fake,
how did that?
Looks fake,
did.
right?
I got to be honest, it really did.
Why?
In
Why
real time.
like that? You know why it looked like that? Because it was.
Oh, stop it. How dare you? How dare you slander on this show? He's a friend of the show.
I still like him. I don't fault him for doing that. If he wants to do that, it's all up to him.
If he wants to pay for fights, he can.
I mean, he was going to knock him out anyways. But I actually give him credit for saying it to Helenius. Say, man, I'm gonna kick your ass anyways. Why don't you just let me tap you and you fall down safely so I don't have to hurt you? I don't have a problem with that.
That's cold-blooded, man.
I have a problem with that.
You know what though? Here it is though. Like I watched this, I took it back, watched it in super slow motion, right? Super slow motion. He didn't see that shot coming. And that shot was a hard shot. You watched his head. That was a hard shot.
You say
that was I couldn't have stood up on that shot. Okay, pretty sure you couldn't have stood up under that shot.
You and I would get beat up by a 14-year-old right now, so we're not good examples.
That's true, man. Shots. That's true. I would have got.
Don't use us as examples of who could take shots.
I used to get stretched in the gym by like 14-year-olds. I'm like, my God, guys are strong.
I can get knocked out by playing dodgeball right now at my age. I don't even want to hear it. But go ahead.
That's true. That's true. So after watching this fight in super slow motion, it was apparent to me the guy didn't see the shot coming. Helenius didn't see the shot coming. That shot landed pretty flush right on his face, right in between. It looked like it landed between the eye, the nose. But either way, he didn't see it. And he was in the middle of throwing punches. He didn't see it. Boom. He just went down. He was out cold. He was out before he hit the ground. Did you see his expression when he hit the ground? Did you happen to look at his expression? Son, he was out.
Oh, come on, man.
Give me the expression. Give me the expression. You're so crazy good at this.
This was his expression.
That was not his expression. It was not his expression. Yeah, that and he wasn't blinking, nothing. I mean, he was out cold, son.
I'm not blinking right now.
You're a moron.
Beside the point, I'm not blinking.
You know what was frustrating about this fight, though? It was hard to tell how much Wilder improved or didn't improve. I thought Helenius would be better, but, to me, I guess Was he winning the round? I thought he was winning the round.
It didn't matter. It was a
It
script.
didn't really matter, right? I mean, it didn't. Oh, stop.
Who's
What's
really
the
winning?
matter
Shawn
with
Michaels.
you?
Who's really winning?
How dare you?
Fucking Shawn Michaels or Bret Hart. I mean, it's choreographed. Come on.
Well, it's supposed to be a schmoz, and then they turned it and made Shawn Michaels win. Just saying.
Again,
Saying that's what happened. That's what happened.
It was a script between Shawn Michaels and Vince McMahon.
I love that we're all on the same page talking about the same thing.
Just being honest.
So, like I said, man, it's hard to tell. It looks like Andy Ruiz is going to be next up for Wilder. Now, Wilder did call out Usyk, kind of. I don't know if that fight's going to happen or not. The Andy Ruiz fight is probably going to happen next. That's the easiest fight to make. How do you think he does in that fight? Do you think Andy Ruiz, Andy Ruiz is a little slicker than Helenius, but he hasn't looked good recently. I got to be honest. I don't think he's looked that great.
I would pick Wilder by knockout over Andy Ruiz.
Yeah, I would too.
I don't think Ruiz matches up very well with Wilder.
All right, so who does match up well with Wilder?
Right now?
He's the best heavyweight in the world. Who does? Aside from Fury.
I'll be honest.
We don't know what he's doing next. He's going to fight Chisora next.
Yeah.
I'd have rather seen him fight, come on.
I'm going to keep it 100 right now.
Nobody.
I think outside of Fury and Joe Joyce, Wilder beats everybody. I think him and Joe Joyce is an excellent fight. Yeah.
I told you that's the fight I wanted to see. I told you that's the fight I want to see. To me, that's on my list. That's the fight I want to see. That to me is an entertaining fight. Him and Joe Joyce.
No disrespect to Usyk, none at all. I love Usyk as a fighter, but I can't get that Derek Chisora fight out of my head. I can't do it.
No.
I think Wilder would beat Usyk. I think he'd knock him out. I just really do. Because here's the thing, Joshua was having great moments against Usyk, and he was hurting Usyk. And I don't think Joshua hits as hard as Wilder. I just don't. That's number one. Number two, Wilder don't get tired like Joshua gets tired.
No.
And he don't mentally check out of fights, with all due respect, like Anthony Joshua does.
I don't know. He checked out that second Fury fight.
He kept coming, bro. I think he kept coming at him.
He checked out of that fight, son.
I disagree.
I mean, he got more excuses than a guy going to prison now on why he lost that fight.
Oh, and the second one with the excuses?
Yeah.
Okay. But he still tried. Like, go back and watch that fight. He was still trying to win. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he gave up.
I get you.
I don't think he gave up. And go back and watch the third fight. He still was trying to win that fight. Even after he got knocked down, he got up and he knocked Fury down twice. I don't like the excuses after that second fight either. But I'm looking at him like still trying to win. Like, that guy never gives up. I give him credit for that. I'm not saying Anthony Joshua gives up. Subconsciously, I think mentally sometimes he gives in fights. I don't think Wilder does that. I just don't.
2 years ago, as I was winning pie bets against Eric with Joyce. Now the tube has changed.
That's right.
I tell you what, he's made a believer. I don't know. That to me, that fight's a toss-up.
Fair
I think
enough.
that fight's a toss-up, man.
I think Wilder right now is the third best heavyweight in the world.
Because you guys, I don't care what you say about Joe Joyce and how his punch resistance and everything. Listen, Wilder can take any guy out on the planet with that right hand.
Wilder.
He's a freak, man. He's a freak.
I can't say you're 100% wrong. Even if I disagree, right. You could be. I mean, your argument is plausible, man. Who knows? I mean, if everything's on the up and up and Joyce doesn't get a script, then he could still go out. He could still go out.
So, I mean, he is though, right? I mean, let's face it. He is the best heavyweight in the world right now.
TF is the best heavyweight in the world. Cut it out.
Is he though? Because he's fighting Chisora next. Is he?
Well, he's not fighting the best fighter in the world next.
Who is the guy? Otto Wallen. Otto Wallen wants to fight. I guess Joshua is lining up a fight with Otto Wallen next.
Oh, for real? Is that going to happen?
I don't know. That's what.
I don't hate that fight at all. I like that fight. I think that's a great fight. You like that
fight? I don't think it's a great fight at all. I think him and Fury was a great fight. This fight, not so much. Otto Wallen? Come on, man. He's not going to beat Joshua.
Listen.
Come on, son.
You got to let Joshua have
Stop
like
it.
Otto Wallen is a top 10 guy. He's a legitimate top 10 guy, in my opinion. Right? And Joshua is coming off 2 losses. That's a good, decent opponent for Joshua in his situation right now, in my opinion. I'm just being honest. I don't hate that fight. I really don't hate that.
That's a wash, man. That's a dog fight.
Wallen is a decent fighter, man. He
is. He's not, but again, we always talk about this levels.
All right. I mean, I think Wallen will give Joshua a really good fight, man. I could be wrong, but I just think it'd be a good fight.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be a good fight, man.
All right. You could be right too. Who knows? But I just think Wallen, like I scored the Fury fight 9 rounds to 3, but yeah. Wallen did cut him.
He cut him in the second round though. Yeah, and it was more. Was that even a punch that cut him?
He kind of laced him, didn't he?
Yeah, it wasn't even like a huge. It wasn't like anything super crazy. It wasn't like a punch, but he lost every round after that. Yeah,
it was it was a circumstantial thing where he cut Fury in the eye, but he wasn't winning that fight unless the fight was stopped on the cut. So,
Dwayne this time says this is a good one. Will Al Heyman let Wilder fight anyone outside of the PBC? We all know how Fury worked out. Unless PBC is truly in money trouble, I don't see it happening. Well, if he wants a title, he's going to have to fight somebody outside the PBC. That's just it. I mean, that's just the way it is. And God, I don't want to see I don't want to see Fury Wilder 4. I don't want to see it. Let's see Usyk. Let's see Usyk. I mean,
I'd love a fourth fight.
How can you possibly sit here and you say you like to see that nonsense again?
I'm just trolling. I wanted to bust your chops
with you.
I want to see how you'd react.
Maron. What's the matter with you?
No, they can't have a fourth fight.
No, it's done. He won 3 straight. What are we doing?
There's such a thing called overkill.
What was the outcome of the first Tyson Fury Chisora fight? Because the second one was a knockout, yeah?
Yeah,
the second one a knockout?
Yeah, second one was a knockout. The first one was a competitive decision for Fury.
And so they're fighting again now.
Fight a third time, yeah.
Chisora probably shouldn't come back and fight anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, he had a good win over Pulev. I'll give him credit for that. But I don't think he should be fighting Fury right now. I don't think he should
against Pulev. He had a good win against Pulev. Son, I think you and I could be competitive against Pulev at this stage. Of course, he had a competitive win against Pulev. What's the matter with you? Pulev's on his way out too.
Yeah, he's on his way out too.
It's like saying he had a competitive fight with Ray Mancini last week.
But he was favored to. Pulev was favored to beat Chisora, though, man. You could argue as like Pulev. You could argue it was an upset. You can argue it was an upset.
Stop it. All right, let's talk about this. It's a post-fight press conference. There was some bizarre behavior from Wilder as he broke down and started crying because he was scared for Robert Helenius after the KO. He talked about Pritchard Colon and just how dangerous the sport is. This is bizarre to me because Wilder's always talking about wanting to kill somebody in the ring. He wants a quote-unquote body on his record. B, was this bizarre?
It could be part of the script too, man. You never know. I mean, everything was kind of weird yesterday, man.
Centurion, this is my problem. He says, why the clickbait? What clickbait? Who beats him? Seriously, aside from Tyson Fury, who's got his number. Aside from Tyson Fury, who's got his number, who else beats him?
I think Joe Joyce beats him.
You think? We don't know. And I guarantee Wilder would be favored in that fight. I think Wilder's favored in that fight.
Against Joyce?
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah.
I would love to.
Listen, he's competitive. If you could say Usyk, I don't know that Usyk beats him. I can't say for sure. I wouldn't put
I
the
think
farm
Wilder.
on it that
I
way.
would pick Wilder. I pick Wilder over Usyk. I'm just being real.
All right, what about Joshua, Anthony Joshua?
I pick Wilder over Joshua.
You pick Wilder on that one.
Yeah.
Those are the top heavyweights. Why is he not the best heavyweight?
I don't think he
heavyweight.
I don't think he beats Joyce.
I don't think he beats Fury. No problem.
D-Style said he thinks that Wilder would beat Joyce, though. A lot of people would pick Wilder still over Joyce, and that's fair. And again,
I think Joe Joyce outboxes him until he gets clipped. But Joe Joyce is not going to be able to handle that kind of power. Your body's not equipped to handle that kind of power, man.
It is a different power, man.
He's got to be the hardest hitter ever. Period. Harder than Tyson, harder than Shavers. Period. Because he touches you with that right hand, you're going out.
I'll tell you this. That would be like the most entertaining, intriguing fight that could be. Like in terms of entertainment value, I even think that fight's better than Wilder versus Joshua.
The fight's better than anything right now. You tell me a better heavyweight fight than Joe Joyce and Deontay Wilder.
None. There's zero.
None, right?
Yeah,
None.
I agree. That's a blockbuster of a fight in terms.
And I said this, Beeb. I said this weeks ago. Fair, huh?
Yeah, we'll give
you a cookie.
That. We'll give you a cookie for that one.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I think Joshua would beat Wilder. Yeah, but we can't say for certain, can we? I mean, nobody's saying like.
Again, anyone could beat anyone.
You should have put Centurion's mad. He said that you should have put the best heavyweight apart from Fury in the title. Well, listen, man, Fury's fighting Chisora. My man's fighting Ruiz next. Wilder's fighting Ruiz next. Who's a better fight? Who's a better fight? One guy's been undisputed heavyweight champion. The other guy should be retired by now. You tell me who's the better fight.
That's true. He'll probably
the best.
What's his name? Malik Scott said he's not crazy about that Ruiz fight. He'd like to see him fight Usyk or Joshua next, but
everybody would. Everybody would.
But they're
going to, like you said, they're going to try to keep that money in-house. Hamed says Foreman and Shavers. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. Who's a harder hitter? Wilder or Foreman? Or Wilder or Shavers?
Wilder or Shavers?
It's got to be Wilder.
I would say Wilder, but all the nostalgia boxing heads is going to say Shavers.
Of course they are. Shavers never held the heavyweight championship.
He never used to do what Wilder used to do, man.
No.
One-punch knockout dudes like that.
Let me tell you what. He hit him like Holmes, like Shavers hit Holmes. If that's Deontay Wilder, Holmes ain't getting up. Holmes not getting up, son. It's a different type of power, man. I'm telling you. I've never seen anything. I really haven't. Never seen anything like this. Based on what? Based on the fact guys don't get up. You've only seen one guy get up. One. Think about that for a minute. How many fights has he got, Beeb? Like 40 some odd fights? How many guys have gotten back up? One.
Just TF.
One. That's it. One guy. All right.
Best heavyweight of all time, TF.
He could be the best heavyweight of all time. However, the best heavyweight of all time is now fighting Derek Chisora next, who's got 1 foot out of here, who should be retired by now. Nobody wants to see that fight. Are you serious?
I know.
That's horrible.
It's not a great fight, man.
That's horrible. So how can you call him the best in the world? Deontay Wilder, who's he going to fight next? Former undisputed heavyweight champion. The guy who demolished Joshua? He's fighting him next. Come on, who's the best heavyweight?
Yeah.
Listen, Wilder's the uncrowned champion. That's all there is. Uncrowned. Until I see different, he's the uncrowned champion. Joe Joyce, I think Joe Joyce had actually said something about wanting to fight Wilder. He said that he thinks he has like the skills to beat him. I do too. I think he's got the skills to beat him. Now, whether he does, but that's the crazy part. And this is what everybody in there has outboxed Wilder, including Helenius last night, right? I mean, he was winning the round until he got clipped. But what I'm saying is everybody, Arthur Spiltzka, Gerald Washington, Luis Ortiz, they've all outboxed him. Every single one of them have outboxed this guy. And every one of them lost to him. It's a different kind of power. It's got to be. Different kind of power, my man.
Well, last night, that script.
Oh, stop it. Look at you hating. Look at you hating on Wilder. Friend
Wilder.
of the show, son.
I love
Did the
Wilder.
bomb squad for me and everything. Friend of the show. How dare you?
If he wants to, I mean, I got to give him credit. He was looking out for his friend. He didn't want to hurt him. So let me just touch you in the forehead. Let me touch you in the forehead. WWE style. WWE style.
Put him out. Go watch it in slow motion, son. Come on, stop it.
Watch it 7 times.
No, you need to watch it with some fresh eyes. What's the matter with you? Have your brother. Did your brother look at it?
I'm gonna have my brother look at it tonight.
Yeah, have your brother look at it, and once he schools you, then you give me a call. All right, about that.
Jesus Christ.
All right, let's talk about this one, man. Caleb Plant and Anthony Dirrell. I told you guys. I tried to tell you. Nobody wanted to listen. I told you this was a mismatch, son.
It was.
Complete mismatch, right? Centurion said, has Usyk have a better resume than Wilder or not? Yeah, but he doesn't have Wilder's power. So there you go. Plenty of people. Adam Beanie Smith says, Eric, go back and look at the old heavyweight. There'll be plenty of Chisora's people on Chisora's resume or whatever. I get it. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Okay, well, there's plenty of people on like Joe Lewis's resume. I'm not looking to fight him anytime soon, or looking to put it, you know what I mean? Like, or Larry Holmes. There's plenty of people on Larry Holmes's resume. We can't put him in the ring. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Reese Mack, thank you so much. He said, I don't think it was fake. There you go. Beeb.
He's got a pussycat on his avatar. He's got a pussycat on his avatar. Does his opinion need to count? Look at that avatar.
That's a nice cat. What's wrong with the cat?
We're gonna give cartoon characters fucking
stop it.
Credibility now?
Oh, that's just awful. Just you disgust me. Just disgust me.
Well, sometimes the truth is disgusting. He's got a pussy on his fucking. He's got a pussy on his avatar.
Stop it.
I gotta respect it. I gotta listen to that.
Animal. What's the matter with you?
Come on, man. Let's be real about that now.
Luis Reyes says, Eric, get to the broads. He said, get to the cat fights.
It's the cat from Pinocchio. I don't give a fuck. It's still a pussy.
Caleb Plant dominated this fight and knocked Dirrell out in 1 round, or in 9 rounds, but 1 punch. It was a left hook, clipped him, boom, he's out.
That was impressive.
And Dirrell was out when he hit the floor too.
That was impressive.
Listen, Dirrell needs to find something else to do. I said it even before the fight. Right. Look, he's done. I said it before the fight. Said it way before the fight. Said it before his last fight. He shouldn't be out there. Yeah, that's it. He's done, son. I told you it wasn't going to be a tough fight for Caleb Plant. You had a problem with the way Caleb conducted himself after the melee. Please expound on this, Pete.
Yeah, I just thought it was classless. I mean, you have beef with dudes before fights. You talk shit. Like him and Canelo had mad beef. Like they would actually, like him and Dirrell didn't swing on each other. Like Plant and Canelo swung on each other. So that beef was like to the highest level.
Thought he was talking about Canelo. Thought he was talking about his mom.
And then after that, and after the fight, Canelo didn't fucking disrespect him. He said, you're my brother, man. He goes, the past is the past, whatever. And he fucking hugged the dude. I mean, you knocked out Dirrell, whatever. The guy's a 2-time world champion, 2-time former world champion. He's an old head in the sport of boxing. He said some things you got pissed off about, but you said some things about Canelo that Canelo got pissed off about. So let bygones be bygones and just hug it out. Show respect, man. Well, you ain't gotta be like that. That's like being a horrible winner. I mean, you gotta that's part of like growing up, man. You gotta let shit go, man.
I agree. I agree.
Let shit go. You gotta let shit go.
So there's some pretty awful stuff to him. Not to mention all the race baiting stuff he was saying in the press conferences and stuff.
Yeah, it wasn't cool. I'm not condoning.
Yeah, it wasn't cool, was it? I mean, you can't really sit there and talk about people like that, and then all of a sudden, you don't really get a pass at the end of the fight.
What's worse, race baiting or talking about somebody's mom?
He wasn't talking about somebody's mom.
You just said he was.
Canelo thought he was talking about his mom.
Okay, so Canelo thought English. So Canelo thought, oh no, now we're gonna disrespect Canelo's English.
You can disrespect my Spanish too. I can just get beat up in Tijuana. That's it. That's all I speak.
Come on, man.
Oh, stop it. What's the matter with you? Everybody's favorite heavyweight, Frank Sanchez, defeats Carlos Negron by 9th round TKO. Beeb, what did you think about this?
He actually was entertaining last night.
He wasn't bad.
Yeah, he put on a good
performance. Wasn't bad.
Him and Joe Goosterman, I think they worked well together last night. I give him credit. I actually enjoyed the fight. You know, I thought he went out there. He was aggressive. He was throwing some heavy leather in there. Big difference from you know, when he was with Reynoso. I'll just be honest. I'm just being honest.
I liked it. He looked good.
Looked good.
I was surprised. Yeah, I was surprised that, you know, he had a lot of offense last night. Not something we're used to. And I said this prior to the fight. This is a big showcase for him. I said this is a big showcase being on this card. You know, and the fact that he's a Cuban guy, a heavyweight. Listen, nobody wants to see Guillermo Rigondeaux as a heavyweight. All right, so you got to put something together here. And he sure did. Yeah. That was a good fighter he fought. Negron was a good fighter, man.
He listened to the critics, man. Like that laying back and trying to be the counter puncher, man. People weren't feeling that, man. You can't do that as a heavyweight and expect people to be happy with that. I mean,
right.
You do what you can. You do what you got to do to win. But in terms of like in the heavyweight division, people want to see knockouts. And we got a knockout last night. That's what we were supposed to see.
You know, and there it is. That's it, you know. And 3 of the 4 fights ended in knockouts. Manny Rodriguez versus Gary Antonio Russell. I told you this was the fight. I said this was a good fight. This was a solid fight. I want to see, because I love Manny Rodriguez. I want to see how he handles this up-and-coming guy. And, man, did he handle him or what, man? Scores were 100-90, 99-91, 99-93. All from Manny Rodriguez. Rodriguez had a cut under his eye caused by a headbutt. The fight was stopped in the 10th round. That's why the technical decision was actually going 12 rounds. So there you go.
That was a wicked headbutt too, man.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
Wicked. That hurt me watching that. That was wicked.
All right, let's go to the shocker of the week here on ESPN Plus. Devin Haney versus George Kambosos 2. Haney massacred George Kambosos again in their rematch. Unanimous decision, 119-109, 118-110, and 118-110. I had it 118-110 as well. It was really hard to give a round to Kambosos. I gave him the first round, Beeb, and I gave him the 10th round. To me, he just looked more aggressive. He was aggressive early, but just didn't have a plan B. And even when he was aggressive, he wasn't all that effective. No. Like, he would stand there, and you notice how he was switching stances. He would switch to southpaw. You know what I mean? He would switch up orthodox and everything like that. He wasn't effective.
Yeah.
I mean, he was doing a lot of stuff, but it just wasn't effective.
He was just doing stuff just to do it, hoping it was going to confuse Devin Haney. But again, I mean, Devin Haney he's a step ahead of this dude. He's just a better fighter. He's quicker. Yeah. You know, he's just technically better. He's got better footwork, all around, just a better fighter. And then in this time, when he was hitting him he was hitting him with right hands, he was putting shots together. He was actually hurting Kambosos, and Kambosos was holding on a few occasions because he was getting hurt. And Kambosos was complaining about Haney holding, but he was actually initiating the clinches.
He sure was. Yeah, he was. Haney was hitting him clean shots, man.
I thought Haney was on the verge of stopping him, but I give him credit. He held on.
Yeah, I thought he could have. I thought he was in a position to stop him, but you know that's the other thing too, man. Like, a lot of people say Haney doesn't have any power. Yeah, I think Bradley or Ward said it last night. If he didn't have any power, Kambosos would be walking right through him. He wasn't. He was getting hit, and he was on the defensive. So, yeah, man, he is – and Reese Mack, you said it correctly. Haney was sharpshooting. Man, that guy hits hard. I mean, those look like hard shots to take, man. Those are flush. And the worst part is the guy you can't hit that gives you the nightmares. You can't put your hands on him.
Yeah.
You know? Luis Reyes said that he thinks that Lomachenko is going to give Haney some problems. I think Lomachenko gives anybody problems. You know, that's one of those things, man. I just think he gives anybody problems.
Yeah.
But so after that fight, Haney says he wants to face Lomachenko. I still think he beats Lomachenko fairly easy.
I do too.
I think Haney's bigger. He's going to be stronger.
Quicker.
He's fast. He's just as good a boxer. He's got just as good a footwork. I mean,
he'll probably keep him on the outside, and we saw what Teo did to Loma
all night long.
Yeah, Loma needs to be in that mid range, and if he can't get in that mid range, he ain't going to be able to operate against a guy like Haney. And we saw what Teofimo Lopez's jab did to Loma. So again, a lot of those things, a lot of the things that Teo did, Haney could probably do, maybe even do them better.
Yeah, I think so, man. It's one of those things, man. I mean, Kambosos, I understand what he did, but like midway through that fight, I think he knew. He knew the writing was on the wall. He wasn't winning this fight. And he tried. Don't get me wrong. He tried, and he tried up until the last. I mean, he didn't buy out or anything. He didn't just let the rounds go. No. I thought he did the best he could last night. And listen, Kambosos is a really good fighter, world-class fighter, one of the best fighters in that division.
Hey,
but you're up against a guy, he was undisputed, but you're up against a guy who's just different. He's a different kind of cat right now, man. Just different.
Gotcha.
Shakur Stevenson, same way, completely different.
Yep. Agreed.
Shakur Stevenson, you're not going to hit. But my big thing about Shakur is he doesn't put himself in positions to counter that often. He likes making you miss by like 3 or 4 miles, but by doing that, he always puts himself out of position a lot of times. Steven 47 says Haney's power is very average. Again, man, if his power is average, then the guy should be able to walk right through it. And they're not. They're not walking through it.
Whether it's average or not, one thing that's not average about Haney is his boxing ability and his skills.
Yeah.
So whether you want to say his power is average or not, I mean, was Floyd's power average too? He's the best fighter of our generation. So how many people was he knocking out at welterweight?
Yeah. So that's the thing, man. But you know what? I mean, let's face it though. He by the time he moved up, his hands were hurt and everything like that. Mayweather, I'm speaking of. And he was still able to go to the plan B, almost like his father when he created that, when he switched to that shell defense or whatever he has.
Fair.
It's because he got shot because he couldn't have his foot movement anymore, and that's what you do. I mean, he adapted, and Floyd did the same thing. Did the same thing, man.
Got to adapt.
He started using his legs versus his hands. Yeah.
Agreed.
So can't hate it, man. Can't hate it. All right. And that was it. That was it for the fights, man. Let's go to the upcoming fights here.
What about the ladies? What are you? Whoa. Ladies stole the show this weekend. What are you doing?
Ladies stole the show. Was there mud wrestling I didn't know about? What happened?
Oh, Alicia,
I missed it. And you know what? I even got it here, Beeb. I even got it here. ESPN, the amateur card on ESPN. I forgot about this. Forgot about
amateur.
This. Clarissa Shields, the pig strikes again. Yeah, it's amateur hour over there, right?
Oh, man.
Right, Clarissa Shields and what's this broad's name, man? What was her name?
Savannah
Alicia
Marshall.
Baumgart? No, that's the other one. Savannah Marshall. Okay, Clarissa Shields and Savannah Marshall.
How dare you?
Yeah, they fought for 20 minutes and then crowned the best woman on the planet, I guess, or the GOAT, I guess. So after 20 minutes of boxing, we now have a undisputed lady as our champion. Not 36 minutes like the men. I'm sorry, I got to put that in there. And not 12 rounds. We only did 10. Yeah, 20 minutes, and then we got ourselves what we call a champion in the women's division. Clarissa Shields beat Savannah Marshall. I don't know what the scores were. Who cares? Doesn't even matter.
It's a close fight. Who'd you think?
How did you have it scored, Beeb? How'd you have it scored?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I picked Shields to win, but I actually thought Marshall edged it out 6-4. I had it 5-5. But I was also watching browsers at the time, so I don't know how good my scorecard is. Come on, man.
I don't know.
Don't disrespect the sport like that, man. Please.
What are you talking about? I'm telling you the truth. I try to open up to you guys, and you guys call me a pig. I don't understand. I don't understand. Yeah. MAW said 10 2-minute rounds, still better than nothing. Yeah. Okay. Anywho. So what did you think of that? What did you think of Shields last night? Shields is just too busy. You're not going to beat her. She's too busy. She throws too many punches.
Honest, I thought this is my assessment of the fight, and I thought both women fought extremely well. I thought Shields got off to a great start. I had her winning the first 4 rounds, and I was saying to myself, "Damn, is Shields going to get her out of there?" But after that 4th round, I think Shields started to slow down a little bit because she was throwing her punches very hard, and she was putting out a lot of volume even for her. She does fight at a great pace, and it is hard to keep up with her. But the pace she was fighting at last night was even faster than I'm used to seeing her. And again, she was throwing all her punches. A lot of them were with bad intentions, where before she was just looking to land combinations and outpoint her opponent. She was really trying to get Marshall out of there last night. But Marshall was there. Marshall was slipping shots. But she was still getting hit in those first 4 rounds. But she was rolling a lot of shots. She was taking Shields punches well. But then when Marshall kicked it up, Marshall was coming forward the whole fight, regardless of what was coming at her. But Marshall started to land her shots on Shields. And maybe, again, I'm not counting punches, and I know the punch stats were wide. They had Shields landing a lot more than Marshall. I'm not sitting there counting the punches, but what I'm looking at is after that 4th round, when Marshall started landing on Shields, she was actually hurting her and knocking her back into the ropes. She was the effective aggressor. And I actually had Marshall winning the last 6 rounds of the fight. I thought she swept the last 6 rounds of the fight. Right? So a lot of people were watching the fight saying, oh, the rounds could have gone either way, whatever. And I respect that. But yeah, I thought in the second half of the fight, Shields was throwing punches, basically almost like punches to fight Marshall off her. She wasn't throwing the punches with the same intensity as she was in the first 4 rounds. And they were kind of like get off me type punches, right? She was trying to just fight Marshall off her. And then Marshall hit her with a big right hand and hurt her, like bruised her eye up. And even she was saying, I couldn't even see out of that right eye properly for the rest of the fight after I got hit with it, right? So, I mean, this was a fight that could have gone either way, 6-4 or even 5-5. Like you said, there were some people that had this fight a draw, whatever. But this was a very entertaining fight, man. It was a very entertaining fight. And I would not mind seeing the rematch in both of these fights, Alicia Baumgardner versus Mikaela Mayer, or Savannah Marshall versus Clarissa Shields. I thought both fights were very, very well fought. All 4 ladies did a great job last night. So yeah, I did have Marshall eking it out. I'll be honest.
Do what now?
Come on,
I mean, I missed it. I zoned out for a little bit. I'm back now. I zoned out. I'm sorry. I just zoned out, man. Why?
Come on, man.
Well, I can't have a regular day, man. I can't, I got to be on point all the time.
You got to stay focused here, man.
Little Penny says, I'm the Andy Ruiz of podcasts. So I got a question. Am I the Andy Ruiz who who lost to Joshua in the rematch, the heavier Andy Ruiz, or am I like the lighter version of Andy Ruiz? It's very important. I'm just asking questions. I'm just asking. A lot of people had Shields winning. Some people had Marshall winning, but
most people had Shields winning. And again, I don't argue. Yeah. I'm not going to argue against it. I won't argue against it.
Dale says they should run it back. I don't see a reason to run it back. Well, the loser does dishes. How about that one? Oh, that's messed up. That's crossing the line, Deep. Ho. First of all, we don't talk like that here. That's crossing the line. All right? That's crossing the line. I don't want to hear that again. All right? I got a mute button. Listen, I'll use it. All right? How about that? All right. What about Alicia Baumgardner versus Mikaela Mayer? There you go.
Mikaela Mayer.
Oh, Mikaela Mayer.
Come on, man. Come on, please. I had that fight.
Let me ask you a question, B. How many rounds was this? Was this 10 rounds also?
It's 10 rounds. Yeah, I had
10 rounds. Yeah. Was this also 2-minute rounds? Yeah. And then they crowned like a big champion after this one too? After just 20 minutes of fighting?
Yeah.
I gotcha. Okay, so now I know what to deal with. Go ahead, please.
Yeah. I had this fight a draw. I thought Baumgardner got off to a great start. I thought Baumgardner won the first 3 rounds. I thought Mikaela went on a little run. And then I had her winning the first 3. Then I had Makaya winning the next 3. And then I kind of had them flip flopping back and forth after that, And I thought Makaya started getting her jab off, started timing Bumgarner a little bit after the first 3 rounds, starting to get the feel for the movement. Bumgarner was kind of moving backward, trying to be the counter puncher. And I think Mayer was having a problem with the movement because she couldn't pin her down. She was kind of chasing her in the first 3 rounds. But then she started cutting off the ring a little bit better in the next 3, and she started landing some good shots. And Bumgarner made an adjustment too. This was a very tactical, well-fought fight on both women. This was kind of like a chess match. It was, and I thought it had some good ebb and flow to it. I thought both women landed some good shots, and I like how Bumgarner went to the body, and also like how Makaya went to the body. So both women did show versatility, and both women did show the ability to make adjustments in there. I would love to see the fight again. I thought it was a great. I can't say enough about how entertaining these 2 women's fights were, and I thought the women stole the show, man. Caroline Dubois on the undercard, sensational knockout. I
heard there was like an all-chick undercard on this too, right?
Women.
It was all right.
You don't have to say in a derisive tone.
Derisive.
An all-chick undercard.
What's wrong with that? What's wrong with being a lady? What's wrong with being a woman these days? I think maybe you have the problem, Beeb.
Well, the only problem
is
your disdain for women's boxing.
I have no disdain for women's boxing. I'm just saying that it's just not as good as the men. I'm just saying that, again, you fight 10 rounds, they're 2 minutes each, and then you crown yourself some kind of undisputed champion. It doesn't make sense to me, especially when there are only maybe 15 women in the division. I'm saying
you're gonna have to get past that. Come on.
I'm just saying,
Please.
Oh my gosh.
Please, Eric.
Dale in Chi-Town says to get the couch ready.
Jesus Christ.
And I met Clarissa Shields. She's nice enough. What's wrong with that?
Yeah, you interviewed her, didn't you?
I don't know if I did or not. I think I just met her. I don't know if I.
Would you say to her? Would you just say hi to her?
Yeah. I got a picture with her.
Got a picture with her?
Yeah. She wanted a picture with me. I'm like, yeah. All right, I'll do it. I was like, I'm ringside. Why not? I get recognized at like fights and like cockfights and stuff like that, and dog fights and stuff. So I'm like, yeah, let's. I said, she was like, you're Eric. Oh, you're ringside. I said, so you're right. And so I was like. And I was like, yeah, of course, So I put my arm around her. I let her have a picture. I let her have her 5 minutes of fame. You know what I'm saying?
Jesus Christ. You're killing me.
All right, let's go to the phones here. I'm going to bring Robert on. 530.
Hello.
Robert. All right. So listen,
Hello.
let me tell you what Robert did to me yesterday.
Yeah, this guy's
This is
what a
the
low
epitome
life.
of
Oh,
guy code. You broke
this,
guy code, son. All right. There's guy code, and then there's guy code that you don't break. All right. You broke guy code yesterday. All right. So the fight was on, the pay-per-view fight. Now, I told Robert I wasn't paying for it. All right. Robert then starts texting me the winners of the fight. I'm like, dude, I haven't seen it yet. What are you doing? You never text the results unless you know what the other person's doing. Whenever I text Beeb when there's a fight on, you know what I say? Are you watching? And if Beeb doesn't get back to me, I don't text anymore.
Eric, you know what the bad part about this is?
What is the bad part? Yes.
He never does this to me anymore after I cussed him out when he did it before. But now he learned his lesson doing that shit to me.
Oh, that's cold.
I
wasn't going to curse Robert out. You know what I mean? It wouldn't,
And now he thinks he can do it to you, man. Where does he get off? Trying to blow up the spot.
Yeah. What about that?
Explain yourself, Robert.
You got some explaining to do.
Try to weasel your way out of this one because you are the
screwed up guy code, son.
Because you are the weasel.
Hey,
That was a beta move.
I
That
didn't
was a
call
beta
to
move,
argue.
right? B,
I didn't call to
beta,
argue.
beta move. It was a beta
Someone
move.
I
may-
didn't call to argue, guys.
I'm gonna have to question whether or not his
I
nuts
know,
got
but
clipped.
you know, I mean, you got to know when you mess up. I mean, that's guy
Somebody-
code.
I want to see if someone clipped his nuts, man. Go ahead, Robbie. Explain yourself.
What was that? What's wrong with you?
I'm sorry.
No, I'm not going to because
There
I
it
was
is.
trying to be a nice
Oh, now
guy.
you want to
He
plead the
was
fifth.
trying to be
all
a
of a
nice guy.
sudden.
I get you. I get
Now
you.
you want to plead the fifth. All right, go ahead, man. What'd you think of that? What'd you think of that fixed fight last night between Wilder and Helenius?
Okay, Robert. Now you watched the fight, right? You watched the pay-per-view.
Yes, I did.
All right. Did you
Yeah.
think that was fixed?
When I saw it live, I thought he took a dive.
Right. I did too.
I thought Helenius took a dive. I had to watch it on replay several times to make sure that Wilder actually threw a punch.
Stop lying, Robbie.
You
You're
know,
just trying to
'cause
repeat what Eric said.
I'm like,
Full of shit.
no, Joe, look, I have never seen a heavyweight with very little space because remember they were in the corner when Helenius went down. Wilder didn't have very much space, and all of a sudden this right hand comes out of nowhere, and the next thing you know, Helenius is on the ground out cold. I actually had to watch it on replay like 2 or 3 different times
Right.
to make sure he
Answer the
actually
question.
threw a punch.
Answer the question. Did he take a dive? Yes or no?
This is like the Few Good Men or whatever. Like you're interviewing the colonel or whatever at the end scene. Answer the question.
In
Answer
my
the question.
It's not Law and
opinion, there
Order.
was in my opinion, Joe, there was a payoff. Okay.
Whoa!
Oh,
What? Robert? Okay.
Yeah.
Beanie said whoever titled this as CTE. It was the Beeb. Beeb titled it.
no, I didn't title this.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
He
No, I did
absolutely
not.
titled it. I got proof that he titled it. All right.
No, I
So
did
there you
not.
go.
Please don't defame me. Don't defame me like that.
Did you see it in slow motion, Robert?
Yeah, I replayed it.
And you didn't see Helenius'
I
head
can't
snap back like that?
No, it didn't snap back.
No,
Look fake
no,
as
it
fuck.
looked
Oh,
like he
stop
just he went to sleep, man.
It was a script.
But I guarantee you, Andy Ruiz is going to get the same treatment. Andy Ruiz will go to sleep.
Yeah, Andy Ruiz is going to go to sleep, right? So
And Tyson Fury fighting Zora. Come on, really?
right,
Is that
exactly.
really necessary?
So
They've already fought.
all right, Robert. So who beats Wilder? Who's the best
The only
heavyweight
one that
in the
beats
world
Wilder-
right now? Let me ask you this: in the world right now, who beats Wilder?
Well, there's only one man that's ever beat him, Eric.
There you go. All right, and
that
who's
was
he
Tyson
fighting?
Fury.
Who's he fighting?
He's fighting over the hill,
Boom.
Derek Chisora.
So should Chisora even be fighting now?
No,
Andy Ruiz
But,
is what? What is Andy Ruiz? He is the former-
he's a former 3-belt heavyweight champion. Remember, he didn't have all 4 belts. when he beat
Undisputed.
Joshua.
Former
No.
champion.
He didn't have all 4 belts. You
That's
can't
because
call him undisputed.
he wasn't going to fight. That's what Fury didn't want him. Fury didn't want none of that.
Right.
All right.
Right.
If he wanted to fight him, that could have been made. He didn't want it made. All right. So now,
Right.
who would you favor? So Tyson Fury is fighting this guy who should be retired by now. Deontay Wilder is fighting an ex-undisputed champion. It's crazy.
Not undisputed.
Who would
Eric,
you favor?
only 3 belts.
Would you favor Wilder over Usyk?
I think Alexander Usyk would have a lot of trouble with Deontay Wilder.
There you go. What about
Because
Anthony
as
Joshua?
you-
Would you favor Anthony Joshua over Wilder?
Yes, because I don't know where Joshua's head is at.
So you would favor Wilder?
I really don't.
You would favor Wilder. Would you favor Wilder over Joe Joyce?
Yes, I would, because I need to see Joe Joyce do what he did to Parker against a guy like Wilder. I don't know if any heavyweight other than Tyson Fury can handle Deontay Wilder's power.
Then how is that title deceiving?
because right now Wilder is
Best heavyweight in the
uncrowned.
world.
He's got to beat.
Best heavyweight in the world. Those guys aren't going to fight him.
No, they won't fight him. They won't fight him unless you throw him.
Talking sense, baby.
The kind of money.
Are you guys listening to Robert in the chat? Listen to him.
You would have to throw Saudi Arabia money and then some.
Talk about the money. Tell them about that money.
You know, it's large.
Trying to be a match. Trying to pretend he's
as far as Fury's concerned, believe it or not, before Chisora was selected for this assignment, there was talk that Fury was going to fight Emmanuel Char. That might even be worse.
That's even worse. That's even worse. He's over there fighting stiffs.
That was worse.
You know,
he's fighting stiffs.
Who's Emmanuel Char ever fought to get a title shot?
Talk about Emmanuel Char. Who's he ever fought? He ain't fought Wilder?
Nobody.
That's what I know. Ain't fought him. This is Beeb. I made the title. This is what Beeb wrote just a few minutes ago.
That's a lie. That's
on your screen.
That's
on your screen. Rob, did you happen to watch? Did you happen to catch those chicks fighting?
No.
Robert, you have ESPN Plus. This is how much of a fraud you are. You were yelling at Eric last week and the week before for disrespecting this card, saying that that this card was a great card and that he should watch this card. And now you turn around and now you didn't watch it. What excuse do you have for not watching this card?
I'm sorry, Joe. I had better things to do Saturday afternoon.
Did you watch that Tennessee game?
Upset. What a disgrace you are.
You know what Robbie watched? You know what Robert did watch yesterday? He watched FCC Advanced, baby. That's what he did.
Why did you not watch that female card, Robert? Explain yourself.
I had other things to do, Joe.
Like what, Robert?
He had to rearrange his sock drawer.
What did you do, Robert?
No,
what did you actually really do? What did you really do?
I hate to tell you this, but the month of October is loaded with sports. I had other things better to watch.
Did you go back? You didn't even go back and watch it on replay, did you?
Robert, you have ESPN Plus.
Why, Robert? Why did you not watch that?
Because I didn't really want to watch that card because number one, I agree with Eric. I agree with Eric. And until women can,
what the fuck did you do to him that he's repeating everything you said this week? How much did you pay him? What did you do? Did you make a mortgage payment for him? Did you send him a fucking Outback Steakhouse? I just talk
logic, son. That's all I do.
Did you send him an Outback Steakhouse coupon? What did you fucking do?
Coupon?
He's repeating everything you're saying tonight.
I told you.
Usually he repeats everything I say.
Jump on the East bandwagon. I'm telling you. They're starting to jump on the bandwagon, son. I'm telling you.
Look, I want women to fight 12 3-minute rounds. I'll repeat that: 12 3-minute rounds. You want to get a title? Fight 36 minutes like the guys have to.
36, son. 20 minutes, and you're going to crown a champion. Give me a break. Stop it.
Hell, I'm such an old timer, guys. I would like to see the guys go back to 45 minutes, 15-minute rounds. Okay.
Robert, why were you saying
that's what I'd like to see.
Why were you saying last week that this female card was a good card, and when Eric was making fun of it, you were fucking criticizing him for it? Now you're changing your tune. What happened?
Look,
what happened, Robert?
No, I think he found a reason, is what he did, Beeb.
Joe, the only two fights on that card that were worth watching were the last two. I was not going to sit through 10 fights of women fighting.
Robert, you could have went back and watched the last two fights. Why didn't you even do that?
No. And besides, I've already told you, ESPN Plus sucks for boxing. It's difficult to replay their fights. I mean, hell, you know
The
what I
truth
did
of the
this
matter is
afternoon?
you didn't know how to navigate your way through ESPN Plus. That's why you didn't watch the fights. Tell the
Oh,
fucking truth,
give me a
Robert.
break.
Stop trying to act like Eric today.
Oh, stop it.
Give me a break. You know what I did this afternoon because the football games were so boring. I went back and I watched the card that DAZN had last night in Australia.
The games were
DAZN.
boring today, Robert. Did you watch that Bengals game? Are you serious? Come on,
No,
son.
I didn't get the Bengals. I didn't get the
Whoa,
Bengals game here.
why don't you step your
Eric?
game up, son?
He's gonna sit there and try to tell me that Australian card on DAZN was better than the female card.
It was.
You're gonna tell me that.
Fights on there.
You're gonna tell me that, Robert. You're gonna tell me that, Robert.
Yeah, yes, it was. Yes, it was because you had knockouts. You had knockouts. When's the last time you seen a woman knock another woman out?
Oh, so now it's all about knockouts now. So now Robert's not going to watch any more fights unless they end in knockout.
UFC Frog is my new favorite.
Is that your new stance? Is that your new stance, Robert? Is that the hill you're going to? Is that the hill you're going to die on now, Robert?
Joe, you're putting words in my mouth.
Oh, am I really, Robert? Or are you just trying to like dance around the topic now all of a sudden because I called you out on your ridiculous...
on his ridiculousness. All right, Robert, we're gonna get moving.
Hey, get him out of here, man. He's polluting.
Oh, stop it! Stop that!
Good riddance.
Come on.
Have a good day, Robert.
Oh, what's the matter with you? We're gonna keep him on the line. What's the matter with you? 760, you're live.
Hey, what's going on, fellas?
What's the word?
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Here comes another one. Go ahead. Hey, Brian, what's up, buddy? How you doing, Brian?
Hey, B.
What's up, man?
Hey, I went back and looked at the replay.
Okay.
Hold on real quick. Let me get my head. Okay, can you hear me?
Much better. Go ahead. What's up? My bad, man. Hey, but hey, Beef, I went back, I gave you the benefit of the doubt and I looked at the replay and all that, I looked at the, a gang of replays or whatever, but it looked pretty legit, homie. All right.
It looked pretty legit. I mean, because, I'll give you this. I'll say this. I think, maybe if he was like, okay, this is what I need for you to do. I need for you to jump in front of my fist real quick. And he jumped in front of his fist and landed on his fist, and then he fell on the ground.
That's what it looked like he did, bro.
Then
it looked scripted to me, man. But again,
but that's what it looked like. What happened, huh? He was like, man, just jump into my fist real quick and just let me hit you real hard.
So
he said, "Let me hit you real hard in your face."
But did he really?
You get paid.
But did he really hit him hard though, Brian? Honestly, did he really hit him hard? Did that punch look hard to you?
You know what? It didn't look like a hard shot. It looked more like just a bad shot.
He didn't even have his feet planted, Brian, when he threw it. He didn't have his feet planted, Brian. But again, no. But listen,
okay, like I said, man, I'm trying to buy into your logic. I'm trying to buy into it by saying you said he was like, okay, check this out. Jump into my fist real quick. Bam. Good looking out. Hey,
listen,
okay. I guess that's how it went.
I told you I was going to accept whatever you said if you went back and watched the instant replay, and I'm a man of my word. I'm not going to try and change your mind. I respect your opinion. That's it.
But I did go back and look at it, but that's what I said.
Okay, then guess what? You did what I asked you to do. I have to respect your opinion, man. You did your homework.
All right, Brian, thanks for calling in, man. We appreciate it.
Come on, man. Do that to him, man. Come on, man.
No, Eric, I see why you be hanging up on me, man. I'm on this East Coast time. It's getting late. I feel you, man. It's bedtime. I know you got to go to sleep. Your bedtime, what, 7:30?
Bedtime's at like 8:30.
Steve, it's past your bedtime.
I'm an old man.
I'm watching the House of the Dragon tonight, man. You know I'm staying up for that.
Has that show got any better?
I ain't mad at you, man.
I love that show, man. That show.
Really? Has it gotten any better? I mean,
Eric.
All right, man. All right, Brian. That show's gotten better though.
Yeah, I like that show.
A lot more like chicks and everything.
Eric, you just mad because they don't have the nudity that the other one had.
Well, you know what? That's what they said they were going to have. So I tuned in. They didn't have it, so I left.
What about
you know
the storyline?
Like,
Brian, what's up, man? Let Brian talk, man. Come on.
He's off now.
You kicked him off?
He's off now.
Why'd you get rid of him? He didn't even say anything.
773.
Oh my God! You gave him a 2-second call. How you gonna do it?
He
like
said he
that?
was leaving. You weren't even leaving. You're over there, over in your own world.
Y'all boys shut up.
I'm sorry, man. Who are we speaking with?
Not this guy. Not this.
Hey,
guy.
dog.
K-Dog? Oh, K-Dog.
Jesus Christ! You got this guy, man. This guy.
It's funny.
This is the greatest ever.
Where do we find these dudes?
I'll tell you what. I thought it was funny listening to people saying, I'm back. Wilder's back. He's back. And now you got this dude take it to a whole nother level. He's saying not only is he back, he's the best heavyweight in the world, the uncrowned champ, because he beat Robert Helenius, career journeyman. Look at the way that dude walks into the punch. Squared up, switching stances, chin up in the air.
Yeah, that's what Montero said.
The dude's a bum. He's trash.
Oh, now that's kind of harsh.
He was square-shouldered.
That's kind of harsh, man. That's
this
rough.
dude is the goofiest, most unathletic dude probably in boxing history.
Well, you haven't seen me and Beeb in the
Helenius.
ring, so I don't know.
No athletic bone in his body.
Hey, was it fixed? Was it fixed,
rhythm,
Kevin? Kevin, was it fixed?
No,
it wasn't fixed.
Oh,
No,
come on, man.
the dude's just a bum.
Come on,
The
man.
dude's just a bum. That's
Even
why
Robbie said it. Even Robbie said it was fixed.
Knockout loss, so he picked this
Robbie
big
can't even
goofy
see the
bum.
fight.
Oh, that's cold.
I can't even talk without you interrupting me. You guys been talking enough. Let me set my
You're
teeth.
right.
Let me
You're
set my
100%
teeth.
right.
You're right. We're not
You're
showing
right.
proper
I'm
etiquette,
sorry.
man. We're not showing proper etiquette here. Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, so listen. Robert Helenius, he's a bum. He's a journeyman bum. He came flailing in, switching stances, squared up when he got hit. His shoulders were square, his feet were square, right on the chin, and that's what happens. You don't need to see some crazy knockout power and to get hurt like that. When you come charging in like that, you don't even need to be a knockout puncher. But on top of it, Wilder's got serious power, and that's what happens. And that's why they picked him. So this idea, he's back. Put him in there with Usyk. This dude needs to beat a legit contender. Put him in there with Joe Joyce. Put him in there even with someone like Frank Sanchez. But this dude's going to get another title shot because he beat this bum, Helenius. That's ridiculous.
Was it eliminated?
You know what's funny? Why do people say the same thing about Caleb Plant? Oh, he's back. He's back. He's ready to challenge for a title. Where's Canelo? Rematch Canelo. After a devastating knockout like that. But Wilder, after he got beat 3 times against Tyson Fury, he needs to rematch him. Put him there with Fury. Put him in there with Usyk. It's ridiculous, these fanboys, man. No objective reality. Pure fanboyism. That's the truth. What do you got to say about that, Eric? Come on, Eric.
As usual, you're wrong. I mean, again, who do you favor? You favor Wilder or you favor Joshua? Who wins in that fight?
Don't know.
You favor Wilder or
Don't know.
Usyk? Who wins that fight?
Who wins between Wilder and Usyk?
Usyk.
I think
Clearly
Usyk has a
Usyk.
lot of problems in that fight. Joe Joyce or Wilder?
Usyk isn't going to come wailing in squared up like that.
Okay. Next one.
Helenius-
Joe Joyce or Wilder?
Next one.
Joe Joyce.
He doesn't like Wilder's fighting style. Big deal. I'm telling you, though, he's got the best power in the heavyweight division. He's fighting Andy Ruiz next, former undisputed champion. 3 belts, because, Tyson Fury wasn't going to fight him. So I'm going to call him the undisputed champion. Tyson Fury's busy
Ruiz.
fighting
Andy Ruiz
Chisora.
is coming off that fight against who'd he beat? That dude
where he looked like trash against the 40-year-old.
Oh, Luis Ortiz.
The other Mexican dude, I forget his name.
Luis Ortiz.
Gotta get
No,
Wilder.
there's another one before that.
Chris Areola.
There was another one before that.
Chris Areola.
Areola. He didn't even win that fight against Areola. He looked terrible against Areola.
Yeah.
He got dropped.
Well, you know, Areola's a good fighter.
Come on, man.
No, he's not. He's washed, too. He's washed. That's the heavyweight division, man. Heavyweight boxing is trash.
Right. Okay.
There's
so
like
then you would agree that Wilder's one of the best
elite
heavyweights out there, right?
Yeah, definitely. He's one of the best.
Okay.
He's not the best.
Well, that's
not,
up for debate. I think that's up for debate.
The fourth
for
fifth
debate,
best.
man.
It's up for debate.
Well, he's definitely not the best because Tyson Fury already proved that. He's definitely not the best. That's a fact.
Then why is Tyson Fury fighting
That's
Derek
a fact.
Chisora
Fury
next?
already proved that.
You know, he's fighting Derek Chisora next?
He earned that He earned that right.
He earned that right.
to
Who's a Sefer Safiri he
you're
fought?
The champ, you get to do what you want.
You look at Tyson Fury's
like
resume.
Wilder,
it's not great.
Champion, just like Wilder when he was champion, all the bums he fought.
He fought everybody who was ranked.
When you're the champ, you get to fight bums.
You got to fight the people who they put in front of you. Can't just pick and choose.
That's who Tyson Fury's fighting. He's fighting Chisora. I don't agree with it, but
yeah, I don't agree with it either.
You get to do what you want.
Did you watch the ladies fight?
Who did I watch? I watched that Mikkel Mayer versus Baumgartner.
Oh,
not Baumgartner, Baumgartner.
Wow, that's rough.
I watched that fight. That was a good scrap.
Didn't Baumgartner win?
Surprisingly good.
Yeah, Baumgartner won, didn't she?
Yep.
Yep.
No, I was laughing at you because you're calling her Baumgartner. It's Baumgartner.
I thought it was Baumgartner. Did I call her Baumgartner? Yeah. I didn't mean to.
Yeah.
You gotta trust me on it. I didn't mean to.
Baumgartner, but
disrespect, man.
That was actually a pretty good scrap. Can't complain there.
Who's Michaela Mayer? Is that the chick on Twitter?
I had Shields winning.
That's the one on Instagram and stuff that's always like posing in bathing suits and stuff. Isn't that the one?
Yeah, she's the one who they called her she called her a bird face Karen. Baumgartner called her a bird face Karen.
That's not nice. All right, Kevin, we're gonna get running here, man. Thank you so much for the call as usual.
Give him the hook.
All right, let's go to let's see here.
Come in and drop her like it's hot.
Get him out of here, man. Please. He's killing me, man. He's polluting the airways.
Stop it. All right, this is UFC Frog in the chat. 925, you're live.
What's up, brother?
Who
was for sure Riggs? Let's start with that.
Hold on. What's your name?
I'm gonna go with the Wilder fight that dropped. My name's Eric, man. I used to work with bare knuckle boxing, and I work with UFC fighters right now as a sponsor.
Oh, nice. Very good, man. UFC Frog. Eric.
Straight up, man. The guy who was just on here said Frank Sanchez. Let's start with Frank Sanchez. He has no reason to be in the ring with Deontay Wilder. The guy was off balance all night, throwing haymakers, turning around, turning his back in the middle of the fight. You think he's going to go in there and fight Wilder and be able to hang with that guy? He turns his back one time, he's not going to wake up in the morning. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Frank Sanchez ain't ready to fight someone like Wilder. Andy Ruiz maybe, but let's be real here. We're saying Frank Sanchez. No way. Helenius beat Babyface easy. And I'm not saying Babyface is a great fighter, but Babyface hit him twice as hard to look like the Wilder hit him. I know he was coming forward, but Babyface at the time was an undefeated fighter. He fought some decent guys, and Helenius went in there and ran through him like it was nothing. Like 5 or 6 knockdowns, you know, and for him to go out and get hit one time on a short punch and go out like that, I don't know, man. The Caleb punch is 10 times harder in my opinion. He cocked back, got him with a good one, right? This punch, a short one, ran into it. Not saying 100%, but it to me, a lot of times in boxing, they try to build the guy back up. The next fight will sell 10 times more now. Wilder's back, right? Laid him out in the 3rd punch. He's going to fight Ruiz. I mean, the numbers will be probably twice as much as Helenius fight. And it all makes sense to me because everything in this world is about $1. Helenius is on his way out. He gets paid right. It all makes sense to me. Not saying 100%, but, you know, it's kind of fishy to me, man.
Was that fight fixed? Was that fight fixed last night?
I can see it being fixed just for the fact that to build Wilder for the next fight.
You're not even letting him finish.
To make sure he sells.
All right. Let me bring this because Hamed in the chat said this. Helenius got KO'd by Gerald Washington and Johan Duhaupas. So you still think that was fixed?
What was that one?
Yes.
Really?
years ago?
Yes.
Yeah, man. And it was a bit ago. It was a bit ago. Yeah, for sure.
Fight
So he was knocked
fake,
out
man.
by those two guys. And you don't think Wilder can knock him out? It's not like Duhaupas is a huge puncher.
That fight was faker than Ebony Bridges' boobs.
Which are very nice, by the way. But I digress. I don't know. I think after seeing it in slow motion, when you see it in real time, I'll give it to you. It does look fixed. But when you see it in slow motion, man, it's legit. To me, it looked legit.
I mean, he hit him straight on. Don't get me wrong. But
yeah.
I mean, as a man, he felt his power in the first round. He didn't want to be there no more. I mean, question his heart, question the rig. If it was rigged or not, I can question everything. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he was that hurt, though.
So when he looked out, so you didn't think he was hurt when he went down?
No.
Because he looked stiff as a board to me.
If he was that hurt on that punch, he shouldn't have been in that ring that day. That's terrible on the promoter.
I could look stiff as the board too. Watch, Eric. Watch, Eric.
Great punch.
Let me look stiff as a board too. Watch, Eric. All right?
What's the matter with you?
I could do it too. I mean, it's not hard to do. Man. It's not hard to do, man.
And I'm not saying Wilder can't be Helenius easy, but what sells more, him knocking him out in the third punch, or going 5 rounds and kind of struggling for a couple rounds, running around the ring like that? I mean, the first 60 seconds to me was kind of chicken shit.
Or let me throw this one at you. They're both friends. So Wilder be like, hey man, I mean, you know, let me just tap you, man. You go down so I don't have to beat you up and throw the real shit at you and hurt you.
Was Wilder fake crying at the press conference too, Beeb?
Yeah, part of the script, man.
Part of the script?
I mean,
yeah.
I don't
watch
know.
Eric. Watch Eric.
I'm just giving you perspective on it.
Man, why are you doing this, man?
Regular De Niro over there.
I could do it too, man.
What's the matter with you?
I could do it too. I've done it many times. I did it one time to get out of jury duty.
Oh my God. One
time the judge goes like this. Is there anyone that feels as though they can't be objective during this case? I walked up there and I said, yeah, man. I hate thieves, man. I got my bike stolen when I was 10. I'm biased, man. And I got off jury duty. Just telling the truth.
What is wrong with you?
But go ahead, man. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hijack your call here.
First time calling, you just hijacked it.
I'm listening. Yeah, but I'm not saying it was for sure rigged, but you got to think if Wilder can get out of there early and it's going to market the next fight, it's going to push the sales and everything, the pay-per-view sales, the ticket sales. And Helenius was going to lose anyway. So if he got a couple extra dollars to take an early fall, it's easy to see. But to me, it's 50-50 because he did land right on, but he landed right on the forehead. That was to me, it's kind of weird. It wasn't on the jaw. You know what I'm saying?
Hardest part of the head is the forehead. Hardest part of the head is the forehead. That's where you want to hit somebody when you don't hurt him.
Hurt his head, to be honest.
There you go.
Yeah, I don't know, man. To me, it's weird. I think he wins either way, but I'm going to stick with the fact that he sells more if he knocks him out in the first 3 punches.
You're a smart guy, man. You know the truth.
And that's I'm going with that.
Don't listen to Eric.
I used to work with Damon Feldman from Celebrity Boxing.
Don't let Eric try to change me.
Who did you say you used to work for?
All right. Well, I'm Damon Feldman for Celebrity Boxing.
Oh yeah. I know that guy. I've heard of him. The Celebrity
Feldman,
Boxing. Yeah, you know the Celebrity Boxing guy. Yeah, I got you.
I heard of him.
So rigged. I think he's the riggest guy ever.
Guy got a lot of money.
David Feldman's brother. His brother owns Bare Knuckle Boxing.
Oh wow.
His brother owns BKFC.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I worked with both of them.
I don't mind Bare Knuckle Boxing.
I signed the first 6 events to BKFC.
I don't mind that at all.
Jason Knight, Artem Lobov.
Can people in the chat please? Can people in the chat please stop asking myself or Eric to take punches? Again, we're old men. There are 14-year-olds that can knock us out. It's not a good example. Stop.
I think they were just asking you to take punches, Beam, not really me.
Well,
I'm just being fair here because I'm reading what you're reading. I'm just saying.
A lot of the people in that chat that want, trust me, there's a lot of people in that chat that want you to take punches. I'm just not letting you.
All right, guys. Well, hey, I'm about to take off and watch the rest of this Bills game, man, because I got money on it.
All right, man.
You good?
We'll talk to you. Good call. 760, you're live.
Hey, what's up, guys? This is Don Chingazos, Don Vergazos right here.
What are they?
And I think the Wilder fight was fixed And there's plenty red flags if you ask me. Like Wilder and Helenius are best buddies. They're from the same camp. They go out and hang out together. They drink together. They party together.
Watch
So
Netflix.
that's one red flag right there.
They watch Netflix together.
Yeah, they watch Netflix together. They get on everything. They do everything together. And not only that, but I mean, Helenius is really a no-hope. He's a no-hoper in boxing. He's like 38. He doesn't have any signature wins, to be honest with you, besides the robbery he had on Chisora. So
Right.
what I'm trying to say is it's easy for a person like Shelly Finkel to convince Helenius to take a dive. It could just be like, you're not gonna become world champion. You're never getting a pay-per-view high career payday besides Wilder. So they're like, just take a dive. You'll make all this extra money, and that's it. They're in it for the money.
It is.
And I also have like I don't know if you guys noticed, but Helenius kind of rolled up to the corner with his hands down, like and his chin up, like telling him, like, hit me, Wilder. Let's get this over with. I want to get out of here already.
So we can get out of here.
Thank you. This guy's a genius.
And I don't know if you guys seen recent videos of Wilder and Helenius from today, and they're hugging, and Wilder is apologizing to Helenius for knocking him out.
What's his friend?
And I think that's a little weird.
Sparring partner. Centurion says Malik Scott was teaching Helenius how to take a dive.
They do everything together.
Yeah,
They even go to strip clubs together, I bet. But I mean, that's besides the point. And
there you
but
go.
yeah, it looks fake to me. Don't get me wrong. The punch did connect, and it probably did hurt Helenius. But I mean, the guy did stay on the fucking ground for like 2 hours or so. He was there laying down. I don't know what he was doing. Like, he's a good actor. He's a decent actor. I give him that much. Maybe he'll get hired later on.
Maybe he can hire later. Oh, wow.
These guys go to each other's birthday parties, man. I mean, come on, man.
Stop it.
They eat pizza together.
You guys are terrible, man. You guys are ruthless, man.
Oh, man. You got to eat pizza together. They go off for ice cream Sundays.
That's terrible. Oh, that's terrible.
The writing's on the wall, man. The writing's on the wall.
What's the matter with you two? What's the matter with you two? Show some decorum already.
They go car shopping together. Come on.
Let's be real. Let's stop playing games. PBC is going under. They're not making it into 2024.
I tell you what, there's a lot of rumblings.
Right now. It's not sustainable.
A lot of rumblings. Yeah, a lot of rumblings that they're having money problems.
For them.
Can you imagine if that place goes under?
For them either.
Imagine if that place goes under, then what?
It's not good, man. All these fighters.
That ain't good. They got a ton of fighters over there.
Fighters, man. Not all of them are going to be able to get signed by somebody. Not all of them.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
Not all of them.
All right, my friend, we're going to get running here, man. Thanks for the call. We appreciate it, man. Thank you so much.
Best call of the night. Best call of the night.
Best call of the night. I thought UFC Frog was the best call of the night because he likes the Bengals. There you go.
All right.
I think this is Hamed. Hamed, is that you?
Yeah, how's it going?
Hamed, how are you?
Yeah,
what's up there? What's up there? Cheers, brother. Cheers.
Man.
Over in the UK.
Yeah, that's it. But I was listening.
Beautiful.
I was listening to you guys. I just think at first glance that KO did look a bit suspicious, but like if you're gonna see stuff like Wilder's the biggest puncher in heavyweight history, and you look at a guy like Helenius was being killed by Gerald Washington in 2019, which wasn't that long ago, and by what's the guy's name, Duhapa. He's not really done much in between there. All he's done is beaten Adam Konaki, and
dude,
I don't think Konaki was all that.
The guy has 40 some odd fights. How many fights does he have, Beeb?
Who? Helenius?
Wilder. How many fights does Wilder have?
Like 44 fights or something like that.
44 fights, like what is it? 43 knockouts?
42 knockouts.
42 knockouts?
Yeah. The only guy to go.
Come on, man.
The only guy to go 12 rounds
who he's beaten that didn't get knocked out was Devin, and we've seen what happened in the rematch. I don't think
Fury didn't get knocked out
Devin is
either.
the same shape he was in the.
He didn't get knocked out either, man.
Arguably beat Fury the first time too.
Yeah. But I wouldn't go that far. I think you could argue a draw at best, but I agree though. The 2 knockdowns in the first fight and the third fight show how hard he hit. But I think some people are getting carried away because him dropping Fury to me just showed that he hits hard, which we already knew. And Fury has always been, I wouldn't say chinny, but I do think he was flawed. Like he's not exactly Mayweather or someone like. I wouldn't even say Usyk because I've never seen Usyk hit the deck.
Okay, but to your point now, I agree. Helenius, we all know Helenius was there. We know why he was there. He was there. It was squash. We know why he was there.
He had to take a dive. Okay.
He wasn't. Yeah. First of all, he wasn't there to take a dive. He got knocked out. There's a big difference. Now,
look at that.
All right. So, who's better? Who would you favor? Would you favor Wilder or would you favor Joshua?
Oh, to me, that's I would probably favor Wilder now. But that to me is always.
Would you favor Wilder or Joe Joyce? Because to me, that's kind of a pick'em fight. I think that Vegas would favor Wilder or Joe Joyce. Who would you favor?
Yeah. Oh, all right. To me, that's probably more competitive in terms of with AJ and Wilder. I think that's going to end early. I think whoever lands with the Joyce fight, I think the longer it goes, I would favor Joyce, but I don't know if Joyce can take Wilder's power, but Joyce does have a better chin than AJ, and he also took shots from flush shots from Dubois and Parker, and even the way he fights, I think his style could be a tough.
Wouldn't it be fair though? Wouldn't it be if we're talking about? But again, we don't know who would win that fight. That's a toss-up fight, right? The Wilder and Joe Joyce. That's a toss-up fight. I would favor Wilder. Usyk or Wilder? Who would you favor there?
I favor Usyk strongly, but I do think Usyk has to be careful. But I agree with Kevin. Usyk is not going to make the same mistakes. But if Wilder lands,
Wilder's the most dangerous heavyweight on the planet right now. He's capable of ending the fight at any point in the fight. And you can't say that about any other heavyweight in history. You can't.
I don't know about that.
You can't. Give me a heavyweight. Give me a heavyweight.
Oh, no, I'm talking about this era right now. Outside Fury and Usyk, who else is really an elite boxer who could actually, box and at that level, who could actually outbox a lot of these guys? Because I think Fury and Usyk away, and then you got guys like AJ, Wilder, Joseph Parker, Andy Ruiz. All of these guys could beat each other and lose to each other. So I think the only difference is Wilder's got some special power. But I don't think at the moment, I don't think, in my opinion, he hits harder than George Foreman or any Shavers. But if he knocks out Joe Joyce or Usyk or Ruiz, like say one or two of those guys, then at that point, I think you could argue a bit more. I still wouldn't agree, but at least there's something to back up because his resume.
I think he puts away Ruiz.
He dropped Fury, but I mean, I think he should knock him out, but that will just show how hard he hit compared to AJ. Because I think AJ dropped Ruiz once in like two fights, 24 rounds, not 24. I think it's about 18 or 19 rounds. But I do think, look, Fury did get decked by Steve Cunningham. He has been dropped and hurt by other guys. I think Paige, even further. I don't know if a lot of these guys in America were watching Fury early on, but that to me just shows how tough Fury is and how he recovers. But Wilder, I'm not going to say his power is overrated, but I do think some people are going a bit over the top because we all know he could hit hard. So I don't buy the fix. Like he knocked out Brazil in one round. He knocked out.
He's knocked out everybody he's fought.
But if you look at the fight against,
with the exception of Fury,
I think at the. Yeah, but who has he fought? Has he fought guys like Povetkin?
He's defended his. You know what? He's defending his title. How many times, B? Was that 10 times? He's defended his title.
Yeah, 10 times.
10 times. That's a big deal.
Outside Luis Ortiz and
all these guys. Let me ask you a question. Would you agree?
The fighter.
All these guys are world-class fighters. Everybody that he defended his title against. was a world-class fighter.
I mean, the division's not that deep, bro.
I mean,
It's not that deep.
no, I don't think.
You don't
I
think a
don't
world-class
think
fighter?
Wait,
Dude,
No,
how
I
many
think
people are in the heavyweight division?
no. They're world-class fighters. What I'm trying to say to Hamed is, like, you can't look at this division.
Oh, the world ranked.
I know, but you can't look at this division like it's the same division of the 90s and the 70s. So there's only a
But
handful.
you can only fight. But you can only fight who's in front of you.
What I'm trying to say is none of these guys have phenomenal resumes like Joshua, Ruiz, and Fury, right? Now I could say Joshua has been more consistent than Wilder and Fury.
Sure.
But once again, there's like outside of Wilder, Joshua, and Fury, right? And now you got Usyk, and now you got Joyce. But it took a while to get Usyk, and it took a while to get Joyce. For the longest time, you had the three-headed monster, and outside of that, everyone else was below them. So what I'm trying to say is, no one has a stellar resume at heavyweight right now, in my opinion. You could pigeonhole. Pigeonhole everybody's resume.
I think Anthony Joshua has the best heavyweight resume right now.
He has the most
I
consistent.
really do.
I agree. Yeah. He has the most consistent, but he still hasn't fought in Wilder, and he still hasn't fought in Fury.
No, I agree with that.
So I
agree with that. But I think he does have the better. He has a better resume than either one of those two. I think
more consistent. Yes,
I think that's fair.
I don't think Joshua has a better resume than Tyson Fury right now. If you do say, especially in the first fight or even in the second, then I can see the argument because losses do count.
As far as quality of opposition is what I'm speaking about. Not whether he won or not. Not whether he won or not. Quality of opposition.
Here's what I'll say. Fury's two best wins are more impressive than Joshua's two best wins. But Joshua has fought more consistently against solid competition. Fury will fight great fighters. Wait. Fury will fight great fighters, and then he'll fight a lot of, soft touches in between. Joshua has fought solid fighters.
I'm not
me through. That's the difference.
There you go.
No, but I'm not debating that. Joe Calzaghe, if you look at Joe Calzaghe's resume, you could argue he had two elite wins against Jeff Lacey and Mikhail Kessler, two guys who were in their prime. Carl Froch fought more top 10 guys. That's not the argument. The argument is who has a better resume. Lost his count. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of Fury. I think he's a cherry picker. I think the guy's a fraud. I think he's been handpicking a lot.
How can he have a good resume then?
But he has.
Just call him a cherry picker. You're saying he has the best resume.
Lost his count. No, but yeah, because he fights some very good. I think Mayweather at a time was doing the same, but I think he has fought the two better wins he's got on paper against Wilder and Klitschko. Beat Klitschko before. Yeah, but at the same time, AJ lost to Ruiz, a guy who wasn't ranked top 10. He got killed by him. And then he lost to Usyk not once but twice, and he lost decisively. Like we can't keep giving guys credit for losses. If we're gonna do that, then Paulie Malignaggi and guys like Adrian Broner have got the greatest resume. My point is, if we're arguing about consistently who's been fighting the top 10 guys, yeah, I agree, AJ. But AJ's resume with Wilder is not today. And my point with Wilder was initially that Wilder's the guy that turned pro in 2008. He could have fought Vitaly Klitschko. He could have fought guys like Chisora, Joseph Parker. There's a lot of holes in his resume. So when people start saying like this guy's the biggest puncher, I mean, it's debatable. But I think
it's all subjective. Obviously, it's all subjective. But I mean, just based on.
I mean, accomplishment.
Turn around and say
accomplishment, achievement.
You could turn around and say Joshua never fought Wilder or he never fought Fury. Arguably the two best heavyweights in the division now.
I agree. No, I agree. That's a good point. That's why I don't think Joshua's got the best resume. That was my point. That was fine. No, but Joshua didn't fight those guys and hasn't beaten those guys. He's also lost. That's why I think Fury has got a better resume. That's what I said. But I think if you compare AJ's resume to Wilder, yeah, Wilder fought Fury 3 times, but he lost twice and arguably lost 3 times. And he fought him after Fury came off a long layoff. And I don't think Wilder should have. He should have even. Well, it was a draw on paper, but I think Wilder on paper it looked like he should have knocked him out or won that fight, the first fight. But nonetheless, Wilder, I think if he beats Ruiz, if he beats guys like Usyk, then I think his resume and his power, you can give him a bit more credit. But I'm not questioning his power in this either, because I think right now, there's no doubt he is the biggest puncher in the heavyweight division. But I still favor Usyk and Fury. But I think the Usyk fight is maybe a bit more competitive than some people think. But I wouldn't get carried away.
All right, man. We got to wrap it. Yeah, thank you so much, man. We appreciate it, man. Thank you. All right, let's go to the news real quick. There wasn't much, honestly. Let's see here. Fury Chisora 3 is likely. Apparently, according to Frank Warren, Beeb, Fury Chisora 3 is going to happen. Anthony Joshua is expected to possibly fight Otto Wallin as well. Naoya Inoue versus Paul Butler for the Undisputed Championship. This fight is going to take place on Tuesday, I think December 13th, if I'm not mistaken. Tuesday. They love the weekday fights in Japan, man.
Yeah, they do.
And honestly, I would love, you know what I really wanted? I think this fight would have been better if it took place in England. I get it.
I agree.
I get it. But I wish it would have took place in England.
But
I mean,
Japan's
you really got nothing to lose. Well, Japan's got big stadiums, and Inoue fills them up, you know. Yeah. So that fight would have sold out either way it went, you know. And I will tell you this. I'll tell you this. I'm going to be rooting for Paul Butler in that one.
Why?
I like Paul Butler. You don't like Paul Butler?
I like Inoue too, though.
Well, I like Inoue too, but Paul Butler, man. I mean, he's the underdog.
What's wrong with Inoue?
There's nothing wrong with Inoue. He's not the underdog.
What did he ever do to you?
Well, he never talks to me.
That's true, too. He never replies when we send him.
Right. I mean, and Paul Butler, I mean, I got a Christmas card from him last week.
Yeah, let's pull.
Last year, excuse me.
Let's pull for Paul Butler. I bet you we
got to pull for Paul Butler, right? He's practically a friend of the show. Teofimo Lopez and Jose Pedraza will tangle on December 10th. Beeb, do you like that fight?
Hate it.
You hate it?
Yep.
Wow, that's rough. That's not it's not good.
What happened to I'm taking over 140?
Well, the fight will take place at 140.
That's what I'm saying. So why is he fighting Pedraza?
I don't know.
When was the last time?
I think when it's all said and done, it's going to be for a vacant title. I bet you any money, because Josh Taylor moved up or whatever, or he relinquished all the belts or whatever.
I'm not crazy about the fight. I'll just be honest.
Yeah, I'm not crazy about it either. Showtime. There's only one fight next weekend, and it's Showtime on October 21st. I believe this is a Friday one. Ali Ismailov versus Radivoje Kalazadzik. 10 rounds, light heavyweights, easy for me to say. Isaiah Steen versus Elvis Figueroa, 8-round super middleweights. I believe this is from Atlantic City. This is going to be one of those show box cards. You know, so not a big one at all. So after that, there will be fights after that. But nothing major next week. So there you go. All right, guys, that'll do it for this edition of Ringside Reporter. You can contact Beeb on Twitter at JHabib1 and find our YouTube channel at ringsidereporterlive.com. You can catch me on Ringside73 on Twitter. Guys, we'll see you next week.